Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well this week. I am back in my typical spot. This week's poem is a bit more relevant than most of the writing that I post, to be honest, because it's a subject that's near and dear to my heart. And it's something that I've dealt with pretty much since the moment I opened my eyes for the very first time 39 years ago. And it'll be something that'll be a part of my life until the last time I open my eyes, somewhere down the road. The poem is a reminder for July and why it's so important. And it goes something like this. For Disability Pride Month, 35 years since the Americans with Disabilities Act became law, a moment to remind everyone else to never underestimate us. Though life provides challenges mentally, physically, and emotionally, a community makes waves by living everyday lives. We bring our stories to the forefront in every post created, sharing pieces of our hearts and souls. In an increasingly ableist world, the disabled community's voice is needed at the table, now more than ever before. So yes, July is Disability Pride Month, marking the date July 26, 1990, the day when the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law by President George H.W. Bush. And you would think pride and disability, you would think at first the two wouldn't go together, because why take pride in something that is a challenge to living everyday life? On the contrary, I take full pride in knowing that I have cerebral palsy, knowing that I've struggled pretty much from the get-go through every complication to get to the person that's speaking to you in this video, the person that wrote the poem that was just read, and the person who tries to carve out his own existence, going to work, commuting to and from home, traveling, trying to enjoy life as the rest of the world does, and someone who turns his feelings, emotions, experiences into poems. Although I could do a hell of a lot better job of being more relevant to the present day. As a friend told me, I have no reason to be sitting out when there's so much going on in the world that needs focus and attention. Even though I tend to tiptoe around all of it, because I realize that when it comes to writing about relevant issues, it's not an easy thing to do. It's like you're having to go out on a limb to bring whatever cause you want to address out into the world, and you never know who's gonna be with you with the message or who's gonna be a detractor of it. And even this poem, like I can only speak for myself and all that I've been through, and seeing so many friends in varying degrees of disability trying to make their own way in the world. And it's like our community, we're not one to be underestimated. Like we can bring our full selves to the world. We do advocate for ourselves, and we do realize that the world isn't exactly the most friendliest of places for those with disabilities, but we do the best that we can given the circumstances. Especially these days when you hear Medicaid cuts, and the fact that Section 504 is being challenged, where lawsuits are being brought about to get rid of rules and laws that are meant to help accommodate those who have disabilities, be able to have access to buildings and in federal sites. It feels like and it's not just here in the States, the whole mismaligning the disabled community, unfortunately, is becoming a an international phenomenon, which it's really it's a tragedy, really, that the people who, through no fault of their own, are trying to make their way in the world are finding less avenues and resources to help them just be in this world. In the end, speaking for myself and not claiming to speak for the rest of the disabled community at large, we just want to live our lives like everyone else in this world. That's not such a difficult thing to ask for. Well, everyone, that's it for this week's video. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll talk to you guys again next week. Good night, everybody.